Whoa, good morning. Guess what?
Guess what?
We don't have the prompter loaded because I forgot.
I just noticed when the show open was playing. I was like, uh-oh, I don't think we loaded it.
Darn it. That's okay. Is it okay if I get off the set real fast and fix it?
I think they're going to try to get it. So.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, here's what's on our menu for today's brunch. We're going to talk about our favorite stories from the day. Then we've got, I believe, our CI heroes to introduce you to. And it's quite an amazing story from our Rebecca Brumfield. Looking forward to that.
And also, I will look at our weather, not only in our last bite, but also on my plate as well. And we'll talk more about that here, as we've got a severe weather alert day for Central Illinois.
Yeah, we sure do. Now, I can go ahead and open up the... Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, let's start with you, Nathan, because
Absolutely.
severe weather, that's a big topic for us today.
Yeah, we'll make that the first note here on our morning brunch. We do have a very active weather setup heading into later today. All is quiet right now. We've got temperatures that are already pushing 70 degrees. We've had a lot of sunshine this morning, but of course sunshine is not good because it's allowing even more heating to take place, which will make our atmosphere even more unstable. So today we're looking at the possibility of a strong tornado or two within our area. Some very large hail. We're talking on the high end, could be as large as tennis ball sized. Again, we don't say that often, and we're not saying that to scare you. We're going to try to hype this up, but we want to let you know what the potential is for this atmosphere to produce today. So we could see some isolated intense storms as early as 1 o'clock today, this afternoon, but more likely around 5 to about 10 o'clock this evening, we'll see more numerous storms. And again, that severe threat will be with us. And I think what stands out is that tornado threat today, not only that we could see a tornado, but it could be on the stronger side as well. So we have pushed that tornado threat even higher there toward the extreme range for today. But the hail threat also is certainly a concern, as we could see some hail larger than 2 inches in diameter. We're talking, again, larger than golf ball size, could be even as big as a tennis ball size. Can't rule that out. The flooding threat fairly low. There, of course, could be some embedded pockets of high wind, but the tornado threat kind of stands out with this particular event. So just want you to be weather aware if you're going to be out and about this afternoon. It's one of those days where we have a day that it can be completely quiet and sunshine outside. You're thinking, okay, it's warm outside, great day to go for a walk. The next thing you know, a storm just pops up out of nowhere, and with the atmosphere becoming so unstable, it can quickly become severe. So we want to make sure you have ways to get those weather alerts and just kind of have a plan in place. Whether you are on the go, or if you're at work, or if you're at your house, know where that safe place is to take shelter. Obviously, a basement is the safest place if you've got a basement, but if you don't, just make sure you find the most interior room, the furthest away from windows and doors exposed to the outside. So just keep that in mind, the lowest floor of your home. But definitely, we don't see days like this too often. We try to really reserve our severe weather alert days for those specific days that could be more in the way of threatening weather with numerous severe storms, and especially today, we don't want to ignore the possibility of tornadoes, so just keep that in mind as we go, especially through the afternoon and evening.
Yeah, this is kind of nerve-wracking because, you know, you really have to time everything out. You're looking at different models at the same time. You're also, you know, looking at the temperatures, because it is weird that it's 80 degrees and you know, it seems calm, but the storm is brewing.
Exactly. You look outside right now and even look at the radar, and there is nothing anywhere. And you're like, okay, there's nothing on radar, so why should we be concerned? But that's the thing. Things will just kind of pop up right over us today. We won't have a lot of lead time to tell you the storms are coming. Once they get going fast. So that's why we want to make sure everyone has ways to get warnings. And I know it is stressful. If you have appointments, you've got things you got to get done. You don't know if the storm's going to be over you or not, and if it is, what do you do? So that's why you kind of have to have those plans in place. We had, of course, severe weather preparedness week last week to hopefully kind of get people in that mindset that they need to start thinking about storm season. Of course, it's something that we deal with in Illinois, being in the Midwest, and you mentioned that 80 degrees is weird. On March the 10th. Our average high is 49.
Wow.
And if we hit 80 today, I was looking at our records, that would be the earliest 80 we've ever had.
Really?
March the 12th is the earliest we've ever hit 80 in Peoria. And that goes back to 1883. So this is really rare stuff. I mean, this is a day straight out of late May or early June, not early to mid-March. So that alone is eerie. And of course, that's one of the big reasons why there could be severe weather, because we've got a lot to work with. We don't normally have this much warm, humid air, and that's really what you need to get that severe weather to develop. So.
And I know you've got all hands on deck because this does sound like a tricky storm. So you've got Chris, Molly, yourself. Are you going to be staying later?
I'm going to be planning on sticking around. Yes, I'll be kind of watching things evolve.
Yeah.
Just another set of eyes on the radar to see if we're seeing any changes within any storms that develop, and just kind of watching for any reports of damage across the area. So, you know, obviously the more eyes that we have on things, the better. So that's one role I'll try to play today, is just keeping a close eye on. Hopefully we don't get reports of damage. We don't want that. But if we do, just kind of pinpointing where it is and watching every scan of the radar to see what changes we're finding within these storms, because things will be evolving quickly. And it's important to remember, too, that not everybody will see severe weather today. That's not what we're saying. But the storms that we do have are likely going to be intense, and we can't let our guard down at all. So
good deal. A little spooky, but good deal.
It is spooky. At least after today, no more severe weather for a while. So we'll get a little breather.
All right, I'll hold you to that. All right, well, switching gears, here's what's on my plate. After weeks of back and forth discussions between city leaders and residents, the plans for the data center in Pekin have been canceled. That's according to Pekin's mayor, Mary Burris, who made the announcement at last night's city council meeting. Almost 1 year ago in April, it was announced that council approved an agreement with a New York company to develop a data center in Pekin. The plan was to place it near the Ludekin Farm land on the edge of the city. Some residents did not agree with that, and a grassroots movement began on Facebook hoping to stop it. They made their voices heard in front of city leaders multiple times. Residents said it would be bad for people's health, it wouldn't be great for the environment, and could even increase electricity costs. At last night's council meeting, several residents thanked city leaders for listening to them and making the decision to stop. So this story stuck out to me because we've been covering this for quite a while. The idea of a data center coming to Pekin, being built in this area in Pekin. And there was a lot of concern from the start coming from residents who live near this area. They were bringing up electricity cost concerns, the noise complaints that data centers often bring. And they just kind of felt like this was being pushed on them. They also brought up just concerns about people's health, as I just read, and they even printed out T-shirts that said, you know, no Pekin data center on, and they would show up to these council meetings, you know, very passionate about seeing this project not come to fruition. So it's just interesting to see how this all played out. In the end, city council members did say that they listened to the pressure that residents were putting on them. They didn't want to ignore residents who, you know, were a part of this community, who were voters. They wanted, you know, to make sure that they were listening to these residents who were against this data center. And that's not very often. It's not very often that that happens. You know, that so much outrage is built over an issue in a community, and, you know, council members say, hey, all right, we cave. You know, we won't do this, or we will do this, or, you know, what have you. So it's very interesting how this played out. And it also shows once you're passionate about something, and, you know, we're in America where you can let your voice be heard, and people exercise that right in this case, and they stopped that data center from coming to Pekin.
Yeah, I'm glad the city council people actually listened.
Yeah.
And I think rightfully so that there were a lot of concerns from local people, because, you know, you don't want to think about all the consumption of electricity and that cost just gets passed down to you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a scary thing. And these data centers are just kind of popping up. They're very new. A lot of people don't understand a lot about them and what they're actually doing with this world that's getting crazy with AI.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's probably a good thing. I know that these data centers are going to be important, especially as we go forward, but I'm sure a lot of residents of Pekin are very pleased to see this not come to the pass. So.
Absolutely. All right, so we do have a mega question of the day. Let's see, you want to read it, buddy?
Okay, what is one thing that you will never do again? Yeah, I know one thing for me, this is so silly, but last summer I went to an amusement park and I ate a funnel cake and I went on this ride that spins really fast and you kind of have, it's a turkey whirl is what it's called. A lot of people call it the turkey hurl. But you have like a bar and you can actually control how fast you're spinning.
Yeah.
And I like to make it spin really fast. I was with my like 6-year-old niece and she wanted me to spin it faster and faster, so I kept doing that and we were spinning so fast. And then the ride finishes, and then there was no line, so then the worker was like, do you guys want to go again? And of course my niece was like, yeah, so we go again, and by the time I got off that ride, I tell you, I was so dizzy, so nauseated, I thought for sure I was going to throw up, and the rest of the day I was just nauseous, and it was hard to ride any rides, and so that was like that wake-up call. Maybe it's because I'm getting older, but never ride a spinning ride 2 times in a row.
Yeah.
Maybe if I spaced it out, that would have been a big difference, but.
Absolutely. Yeah, you never should ride a roller coaster that's that, you know,
yeah, just over and over. I feel like the ride was never going to end.
And then also with funnel cakes, it's bread dipped in a lot of grease.
And
that's just bubbling up in your tummy.
Oh, I know. It was not a good combination.
That's a recipe for disaster, buddy.
I know. Yeah, learned my lesson there.
Hope the funnel cake was worth it.
It was.
Yeah.
It was still good.
One thing I'll probably never do again is I will never ride a motorcycle again.
Ooh. Okay, so you have, I have not actually ridden a motorcycle before, so that's cool.
It was, I can't remember how old I was, but I had a co-anchor at the time who owned a motorcycle, and it was around my birthday, and he was like, take a ride with me, you should take a ride. And I had all this makeup on, and so I put on the helmet. Now it's hot. This is in Mississippi where it is humid. And we're driving around and he's, you know, reaching 40, 50, and it was scary. Like, it was scary. And then I had to learn how to lean into the curve anytime he would make a turn. And, I woke up sore the next day because you're using these muscles right here. And when we finally got off, my hair was a mess, and there was makeup all over his helmet. I felt so bad.
That's great.
So I will probably never ride a motorcycle again.
Okay.
You know, so lesson learned.
I've done dirt bikes, never a motorcycle though.
Yeah, stick to dirt bikes.
I'm gonna stay out in the woods and not get out in the roads.
Absolutely. All righty, guys. Well, we're going to take a break, but we'll be back with a lot of topics to talk about, including our CI heroes. We'll be back. Welcome back. A trailblazer in education focusing on trauma-sensitive and human-centered care involving young students in the Peoria area. Rebecca Brumfield highlighting Michelle Taylor as this week's CI hero.
Michelle Taylor is the Vice President of Education at the Children's Home Association of Illinois in Peoria. She oversees Kiefer School and the Academy for Autism. For 2 decades, she's remained committed and dedicated to students and staff, helping them to thrive in the face of adversity.
Kids have a future that is worth fighting for. I think the impact that we have is seen when kids begin to thrive after they've been here with us. But the impact is something that will last for decades.
Taylor says a positive learning culture can make all the difference for someone's future.
It's important that we meet students where they are. Many of the students that come to us have a trauma background, and making certain that we have the tools in place to help students through those traumatic experiences is sometimes the first and only way that we can connect with them.
She says leadership, engagement, and growth are pivotal for students to be able to feel empowered to learn in a safe environment. Taylor continues to transform education at the agency, but her reach goes into the community as well.
Education opens doors. It provides a future that helps students, families. It helps all people.
School hallways and classrooms may sit empty now, but Taylor says planning and advocating for students and staff continues year-round. In Peoria, Rebecca Brumfield, WMBD News.
All right, and for more on how to submit a form on how you can nominate someone to be our next CI hero, it is underneath the community tab on CIProud.com. Well, police in Georgia recently had to deal with what they say was an angry turkey. Officers in Cobb County responded Tuesday to a report of a turkey blocking traffic. At some point, the officers were concerned when the turkey named Henry appeared to get aggressive. The situation also had the officers cracking up. They were able to get Henry off the road, but some might say Henry was in a foul mood.
Ooh. I love how he had a name.
Yeah, Henry, a human name at that.
Exactly.
You know, good grief.
They're kind of cute, but
No, turkeys are really dumb, right? Like I've heard.
not the brightest.
Yeah, they're not the brightest. So it's funny how it got aggressive. Like, how dare you try and capture me when I'm holding up traffic?
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is my road, not yours. Turkey, have you ever had like, not had, but turkey feathers are really cool. Like, if you ever like see like wild turkeys out, sometimes they'll shed their feathers. And
Yeah.
I've actually have a few that I've collected over the years.
Really?
They're really cool looking.
Yeah, it seems like that's like a thick feathered bird.
They're
Like,
really thick, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, next time, why don't you collect the whole turkey
The whole
and then
turkey,
we'll cook it?
put it on the grill.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there we go.
Have a nice feast. What's old has seemingly become new and fun for teched out younger generations. More millennials and Gen Zers are dabbling in grandma hobbies during their precious free time, such as needlepoint, mahjong gardening, pottery, mahjong. Okay,
There we
mahjong
go. Thank you.
gardening. Okay, gardening, pottery, and
Origami.
origami, yes,
Yep.
to escape technology and reconnect with creativity. People are forming more companies and clubs to help replace unhealthy habits of form human connections. Persisting beyond the pandemic, the movement has also been gaining much traction on social media. Many hobbyists say that their offline tactile activities are an embrace of the older analog world.
Interesting.
I feel like I don't do any of those things.
Yeah, I try to do creative stuff, but I never stick with it. Like, I got into building like miniature homes and miniature rooms, and it was just the parts were just so small. I would lose them. You'd have to like sit under like a magnifying glass so you could make sure you're gluing the parts together right.
Right.
It was such an ordeal, and I never finished it. So I'm not gonna, commit to anything like that.
Yeah, it sounds like it's too hard of work. I built a birdhouse once, and I was like, I'm not doing this as a hobby.
How did it turn out?
It turned out pretty nice. It's actually still at my grandmother's
Really?
house.
Do the birdies use it?
Well, some, not last year, but the year before, there were baby birds in there. So
Oh,
it actually
you made
was,
a home.
yeah, it was put to good use, I guess, for nature.
Yeah.
So
Good deal. Oh, all right. Well, look-alike contests have been making a huge comeback lately, and it doesn't just stop with movie and pop stars. On Sunday, hundreds of people gathered in New York City for a John F. Kennedy Jr. look-alike competition. The event featured contestants channeling the late icon's 90s heartthrob style through suits, backwards hats, and rollerblades. The contest was fueled by the recent FX series Love Story, which dramatizes the lives of JFK Jr. and Carolyn Bessette Kennedy. Ultimately, participants competed for a $250, that's it, $250 cash prize and the title of the biggest hunk a Rooney.
yeah.
All right.
I mean, $250 isn't going to get you anywhere these days, but I guess it's worth it to just go out there and have fun. And
Maybe the part to be called a hunk
yeah, I want to be
is
called a hunk.
the draw in. Yeah, you are a hunk, buddy. There you go. You're a weather hunk.
I wish I knew that was going on last Sunday, and I would have gone out there.
Oh dear, and I would have not gone. I prefer to picture you in your suit only, buddy.
Just the suit only.
Yes.
Well, I won't add any more to that. Spring is just around the corner, and so is Free Cone Day at Dairy Queen on March 19th, the day before the start of spring. Dairy Queen is welcoming the warmer weather with the return of a fan favorite tradition that invites everyone to celebrate the simple joy of a classic vanilla soft serve cone. The promotion runs all day on March 19th, and you can get cone. I cannot read, my goodness. You can get one cone per person.
Cool. We have a Dairy Queen here.
We do.
Yeah.
I just had their vanilla cone back on Saturday.
You
so
did? How was it?
Really good.
You didn't get any toppings?
No, just regular. vanilla.
Sometimes that's all you need is just vanilla and the cone together.
Yeah, I feel like their ice cream, their vanilla, there's something about it. It's just so good.
Oh my goodness. All right, Vanilla Bean. We're gonna go to. I don't know why I called you a Vanilla Bean.
Oh, I like that.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
You can call me Coco. Coco bean. Are cocos beans? Wait, are beans cocos? I don't know what's wrong with me. We're gonna go to break. We'll be back.
Technically. I mean. Welcome back. As we come to a close, here's your last bites. We'll start with a joke of the day. What musical instrument do you find in the bathroom?
Give me a hint. Is it a string?
Think about something you use. Well, I kind of gave it away, but something you use to clean your teeth, obviously, to brush your teeth. Toothpaste. Tuba toothpaste.
Tuba toothpaste.
Yep, a tuba toothpaste.
A tuba toothpaste.
Got it.
Oh gosh.
It still beats the one we had yesterday.
Yeah, that one was horrible.
Oh, man.
Just like this weather could be horrible today.
It could be concerning here later today. We do have that severe weather threat. In fact, a level 4 now that was upgraded for that tornado potential that is going to be especially high for today. So we want everyone to be weather aware heading throughout the afternoon and evening. We'll finally say goodbye to any severe weather by tomorrow, but we'll still have some rain for the first half of Wednesday. And those temperatures will be getting cooler in the low 50s for the remainder of the work week. But again, the main focus is today. Obviously, it's going to be 80 degrees, unusual. But of course, that's also going to fuel that severe weather potential. So we want everybody to make sure they have a plan in case severe weather does strike, which is fairly likely at some point, either this afternoon or this evening.
All right, Nathan, thank you so much. That's all the time we have for you this morning.
Have a great day. We will see you tomorrow.